Okay, everyone, this is Shimreet, and Shimreet is from Jacksonville, and she's currently in school at NYU, and she is an amazing, amazing young lady. She's doing some great things. Tell us about your major, because it's really, really interesting and very unusual.
I'm at NYU in Gallatin School of Individualized Study, so I have my own study. I craft my own major, and so I'm doing women in genocide and transitional justice. So I look at how gender factors into conflict, and specifically how women are affected by genocide. And I also look at transitional justice, how societies deal with mass atrocity and genocide and conflict, and how they can transition after into a democracy, into a peaceful society. I'm really interested in genocide. I think just the concept is so baffling to me. So I've studied the Holocaust and Rwanda and Cambodia, and I've seen different linkages between these different conflicts, and a lot of similarities, even though the contexts are different. And I'm also interested in feminism and how gender affects the nation and identity, and so I kind of decided to morph the two together. I'm focusing academically on Africa. It's like a regional focus, so I'm looking at women within those countries specifically, but I think it's important to draw connections even to the West. I think women in Africa and women in the West, in Western countries, do have very similar issues, even though they're framed in different ways and play out in very different ways. It's the same underlying theme.
So why do you think that is? All these years, wouldn't you think they'd get over it, start treating us right?
You would think so, but I mean, as I learned in my feminist legal course, it's the men who write these laws to begin with. It's almost like the truth is male to begin with, and so it's very hard to even see how, the truth has been manipulated almost, and even women buy into it and look at this literally man-made male world, and I think it's important for women to have a voice in that truth-seeking process.
Tell us about your club at NYU.
I started Ubuntu, it's Students for a World Without Genocide at NYU. Ubuntu is a humanist concept that was developed by Archbishop Desmond Tutu after apartheid and the reconciliation process. And it's basically like a Zulu philosophy that emphasizes humanity and recognizing that we're all brothers and sisters and no one should be dehumanized in the world. So often college kids are just involved with drinking or just their own lives, even studying, really get wrapped up in yourself and your own activities, and it's hard to have a global perspective. And so we organize events, discussions, speakers, movies, fundraisers, just events to get people to come together and talk about what's going on in the world, just to have more awareness and that feeling of Ubuntu, that connection. We had a screening of The Last Survivor. It's a film with a survivor from the Holocaust, Rwanda, Darfur, and Congo. We're always trying to draw links between these different genocides, these different issues that go on in the world. And genocide is actually very interesting because it's not just a mass slaughter, it's not like a savage hatred, it's really a planned out act perpetrated from the top, most likely from government and people in power. So it's really interesting to look at human nature from that point of view as something so cold and calculated and really planned.
So you're going to have a pretty interesting summer.
I'm going to be in India for 3 months, starting May 24th, and I'm volunteering for this organization called Kabir in New Delhi, and basically it's a small grassroots organization that deals with democracy building and right to information. So they go into villages surrounding New Delhi and teach people about how to get involved with democracy, how to understand their rights and how to demand their rights.
Ultimately, if you had to pick your dream job, what do you think it would be?
Recently, I've been researching truth-telling and truth commissions, truth and reconciliation. Basically, they're committees that are established after an atrocity or a conflict, and they help people transition back to a peaceful society. And they do this through the process of storytelling and narratives, and both the victims and the perpetrators speak about what they experienced, what happened, what they did. And I really love this concept of hearing multiple voices as a way to heal an entire society. And I hope that maybe I can be a part of something like that one day and take a gendered perspective in making sure that women are voices that are heard during these processes, and women, help to create the truth of what happened to an entire nation or an entire people. And so I think that would be a really interesting job to have.
Come back and talk to us after the end of the summer, okay?
I will. Thank you.
All right. Good luck.
Okay.